to Almost a Podcast. This is your host, Mike, joined with my my two boys.
Sup?
You guys wanna... Hey,
Colton. Yeah, sure. Sean here.
And Shawnee boy.
It's like Zuko.
All right.
Colton here, back with another video.
Cool.
Just jumping right into it, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you guys drinking right now?
I'm drinking a Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA.
Tasty.
Quite good.
Quite juicy.
I need to go get a drink soon. Maybe at today's intermission I'll get one. But right now I'm lame.
You're not drinking
I don't
right
have
now?
anything. I'm not. Very sad.
This is
Just
fine.
the water?
Should never drink shame somebody,
Yeah.
you know?
You guys
Always
just gotta
drink
stay hydrated.
shame someone on this podcast. Don't allow them to not have a beer while talking on video or on camera.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of drinking, though, I, for some reason, had so much to drink last night. Just for like, almost
You were just
no reason.
at your desk and you just drank like a ton.
Well, I was just watching a movie with a friend, and it's like I had gotten a bottle of wine from Total Wine earlier in the day, and I'm like, I'm trying something new. Got a nice Italian Chianti,
Whoa,
Okay.
fancy,
Good.
man.
And
Don't even know what that is.
and I had that. I'm like, wow, this is really good. I had that, and then the movie wasn't over yet, so I'm like, well, keep in mind this is an entire bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And the movie wasn't over yet. So then I'm like, well, I do have another bottle of wine I had started the previous night, or like over the last couple of a week or so.
Yeah.
And I only had, less than a third left. I would say, probably a quarter left of the bottle. And I thought, that's a great idea. So I went and grabbed that and then finished that.
Jeez. And
then at that point, the movie was over, but
the drinking wasn't.
I realized like, there's another, also quarter left of a wine somewhere in my house. I'll just have that too.
Well,
It's just like laying on some table
finish the
somewhere?
wine and then the house.
It's just house wine, we have,
House
you have
wine, yeah.
wine. Yeah. And I don't know what came over me, but I had like basically two bottles or a bottle and a half of wine last night.
Wild.
For no reason. And
you say you don't drink. You're like, I don't drink that much anymore, guys.
Okay, yeah. After the previous episode where I tried to say that, I realized occasionally maybe that's not true. But but then I woke up. One of the worst hangovers I had in a while.
Okay.
But it did not last long.
It's a wine hangover.
It was one of those hour and a half hangovers.
Oh, okay.
And then
you're good to go.
I was fine. And now I'm totally fine and having a beer now. So
Yeah.
Do you guys notice
really
that?
weird.
That we, it's only been what, we're in our mid-20s, all of us, and like even now, hangovers are starting to like really start hitting you more. Like even if you have like a lot less alcohol, I find that really funny. I had drank quite a bit a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
When I say a couple nights ago, I mean probably like a month ago, and now.
wow, how time.
Just the other
exactly,
night, guys.
Yeah,
I honestly.
woke up total. I was like, "What? I only had like 5 beers, and I'm like hungover." I'm like, "What the?"
Only.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a lot in a couple years back. That's like a regular night.
In college terms, that's normalcy.
I felt that I think it's in college though, it was over a longer period of time.
It typically was.
Because now I don't have the time to just like
You got to binge it.
to just drink all day. I have to have that in a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
So instead of sitting in Ellison's for 6 hours,
Right.
drinking, I would drink the same amount in 2, and that's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
I gotta say, at the very least, I'm way more conscious about drinking water now because I feel like if I don't drink water during a night out, it's just devastating the next day. Can't do
absolutely.
it.
I'm also just way more conscious about the amount that I drink. Like I do, contrary to what I just said, I drink a lot less than I used to.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
we drank every night almost.
I feel like a lot.
Yeah,
not every night. There was,
I'll be honest,
but a while.
When I was living in the apartments, definitely it was probably every single night had at least a beer.
Oh, like in college,
drank with other people. Like I don't.
You don't drink alone.
Just drink by myself, or didn't do that in college. But if I was at a party or hang out with somebody, which to be fair was quite frequently, I hang out with people a lot. So like, usually there'd be alcohol involved. But
college, there's always alcohol
feel
involved.
way better now about water and just being like first I went somewhere the other night, and now it's not like I can walk anywhere I need to now, so I have to drive. So I mean, I went to a place to hang out with people. I looked at the menu. I had it's like a birthday party that I was going to of a new friend that I have, and then I had one beer, one on the light. I was like, oh, I could get a nice porter, but I went with the lighter wheat beer. Had just the one. I'm like, I'm only gonna be here for like a couple hours. That's it. And I'm a lot smarter about that than I used to be.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I was out last night, and I had to drive back. I'm like, well, I'm just like, I want to have like 2 drinks and in the span of 2 hours, and then I'll be like, all right, 2-3 hours, and I'll be all right. I'm good to go.
Nice. Yeah. Luckily, where I was this weekend, my hotel was right across from an Irish pub.
Oh god!
So I just got to go right over there and drink.
Was it that sinking ship one?
Yeah. Yes, like it was. It was like a sinking ship Irish pub, and they had some awesome drinks. Like
really?
Yeah, they had you guys have you had the green tea shot before?
Oh yeah, we had it.
I don't know.
When we were over, we had one.
When we went on vacation together, we had green tea shots, right?
Yeah.
But they had the drink, and it was like an entire drink of green tea shot. And I liked it a lot. It was great. It was basically just the shot, but more in a whiskey glass, right?
Was it that strong too?
Not quite as strong, but it was a fair amount strong, I would say.
A fair amount strong.
But
on a scale of 1 to 10?
So the shot is probably it's not. Okay, so the shot's probably a solid, like, I don't know, 6 to 7, because it's a shooter, not an actual shot.
Yeah.
And the drink was probably just a step or 2 below it, like a 4 or 5. So, I had like 3 of them, and it got me good.
When I was at this, little birthday party thing at this restaurant, the idea was passed around to do like birthday shots, and this is like on a college. This restaurant is kind of on a college where everyone was going to school.
Yeah.
But I'm not there, so I'm like, I'm not doing a shot. But we talked to the waiter, and they're like, oh, waiter's like, we don't do shots, sorry. And they're like, and then they're like, well, can we just order, a drink and then split it up into
like 2-ounce pieces? And then,
I mean, this waitress went from we don't do shots to I'll just get you shots in the span of probably 30 seconds. And we're all like, this is great. But they brought them out in tumblers because they don't do shots, so they don't have shot glasses. So they had tumblers.
Yep.
And these were easily double pour shots.
Nice.
Of all these
your
things.
Money's worth.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm glad I'm not doing any of that.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
But it was a fun birthday party, though.
Yeah, a fun little, just get together, have some food and drink, and a little bit of a celebration.
The birthday party was not the wine drinking, right? That was something completely different.
That was different. Yeah. That was just a Saturday night.
Just a Saturday night with Sean
and friends. We are. We've hung out so many different places and on so many trips, and honestly, like, I think the greatest thing is like all the different kinds of food we've experienced. I mean, think about Montreal or Japan, just all those great experiences with just this, extremely varied amount of food. Heck, even in the college that we stayed at, there were so many different options just due to like everyone. It was such a diverse crowd that had
very cultural.
You could have Thai and Chinese and like, just standard American fare as well. But yeah, like, so what were some like the craziest like food experiences we had? I know one I could think of straight off the bat is Montreal. And do you remember when it was one of those nights we were super drunk and we're like, all right, we want sushi. I think it was the last night we were there.
Yeah.
I know this story very well.
This is like, good.
Let's go to this sushi place. And, it was, I think, all 8 of us, that group, going. And we found this sushi place probably about half a mile from where we're at. And they had this option of all you can eat sushi for $25 a pop.
I don't think any of us had done that before.
I sure haven't. No time.
I had not. I'll be like, oh, all right. And obviously we were all smashed, and so we're like, I can 100% do this.
Although I want to say that at the time we weren't like destroyed. We were just like, several drinks in, but still like, we were hungry. We need food, so let's go.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I drank more. But yeah, so went there and got I didn't realize how much the quote unquote all you can eat sushi was.
It was all you can eat.
Yeah, so you basically had to order everything, straight up. You had all right, we're gonna mark down what we want, and then you had to eat everything, or else, correct me if I'm wrong, you had to pay extra if you left anything on the plate.
Yeah,
$1 per piece.
The danger, that was the danger that I didn't know about when we went into it.
None of us knew it.
Yeah.
In fact, I mean, we had started and we're like, 4 of us didn't want to do all you can eat. 4 of us did. So we had to split up tables because everybody at the table needed to do all you can eat.
Yeah.
So
that's right, yeah.
The person hands us the thing, and I, for some reason, am in charge of this.
Everyone's like, give me the 2 of these rolls.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, at first, we didn't know what we were doing. So we had the giant menu, all had numbers next to it. And we had a piece of paper and a pencil, and we had to write down the number of what we wanted and how many servings we wanted. So I had the piece of paper, and I kind of went around the table, like, okay, what do you want? And I just wrote down 1 serving. And I put 4 or 5 things on the sheet. Waitress comes by, give the paper to the waitress, and she goes, "This isn't enough." And I'm like, "What do you mean it's not enough?"
I don't remember that. Not enough. Yeah.
So
I don't remember that.
So
either.
I'm like, okay. So then at that point, I was like, well, I just went around the table, and I'm like, okay, twice I think. And I was like, "What do you want? What sounds good? What sounds good?" And if I thought it sounded good, I added a serving to it. So we probably had a good, 10 or so things.
Oh, absolutely.
10 to 12 things on that list. I remember, Colton, you got 2 servings of orange chicken.
The orange chicken.
Oh,
and
that's right.
Since it was since it was all you can eat and you're supposed to sample stuff, I thought we'd get a small amount. No, it's a big quantity of orange chicken. Oh, yeah. It was a huge basket.
Well, they put it all into one plate, I think.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was huge,
and so we gave him the thing. We gave him the piece of paper, and she's like, okay, cool. Goes away, and then comes back, and they start bringing out dishes, and we're like, wow, this is so great. This is fun. And then this other guy comes by, and he's like, we're going to close the grill bar soon. If you want to put another order, this is going to be, the last one. And we're like, sure. Of course we'll put another order.
Might as well.
So I do the thing again. I go around the table, we order more stuff, send that away. We're like, oh, we just made a great decision, guys. But then they wouldn't stop bringing food onto the table.
Yeah, and I remember
it was just nonstop.
And they brought that gigantic...
full table filled.
Did they bring that gigantic plate?
It was massive platter.
It was,
like 30, 40 pieces of sushi on it.
Yeah, and just pushed in, and I was like, are you sure this is us? And, by that time, I'm already like, I'm feeling a little full now.
Yeah.
It's like, at first you're bringing food, pushing it in our faces. I'm like,
shit.
And
it was at this point that we realized... then the very fine print on the menu.
Yeah.
Each piece not consumed will charge you $1. And I'm like, guys, we might have an issue.
And obviously, as broke college kids, we took that as a challenge because I ain't paying extra for sushi. And so,
I mean, we did really well. I mean, we had probably 5 pieces left at the end of it.
Yeah.
And we told the person with a 5, sorry. And they're like, yeah, we closed the register an hour ago.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, okay. Did we even have to go through this pain?
I remember not...
It was what, $25, $30 for this, right?
It was $25 a pop.
Yes, yeah.
And that's Canadian dollars.
Easy.
So,
easy money.
It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, at first, we were like, oh, this is great. Look at this big platter. We're going to be full. And then, but you're right. They brought 4 more platters. And I got my chicken, and I ate a third of it. And I'm like, man, I'm full. I don't want to eat anymore. I have to, though.
And you kept eating.
And you also got a rice bowl of something.
Yeah.
Fried rice bowl.
People get big thing of that. Yeah.
Oh, that hurt.
Hurt. That was one of those.
That
hurt. I was one of those memorable. Definitely, it's in the top, 5 biggest meals I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
I think it's the top 1 for me. I ate so much fucking sushi. It was horrible.
Very memorable that meal. At least for me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, I mean,
the other guys, they got a sushi boat in the other table, and they were just having a nice little time.
Yeah,
having this, and we were fighting for our lives.
Yeah, we were struggling.
I'm fighting for my life here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
I feel
that was before I ate a lot of sushi, because I eat a lot of sushi now. But
okay,
then
mister.
I was like, oh, I'm
crash course into this.
Yeah, this is a thing. So yeah, but we did it, And that's probably an experience that contributed to my love of sushi, because that was great sushi.
Nice.
How? You were dead at the end of that. We were all dead at the end of
But
that.
like I was like, if I only had to eat like a third of what I had to eat, I think I could have enjoyed myself there. So
yeah,
it's a win.
It was pretty good sushi.
It's a memorable event
for cheap sushi.
Yeah,
pretty decent.
I feel really lucky to have experienced the type of different cuisines and foods around the world that I have.
Absolutely.
I don't know. For me, I consider myself a foodie, but at the same time, not that much of one, because there's some people who get really into it, who know the ingredients and all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, that tasted good.
Yeah.
But I just want to try as much as I can.
Absolutely. And like everyone gives me crap because I'm the same way. I love food, but I'm such a fast eater that I devour my plate about a third, 1/3 through everyone else getting finished. I'm such a freaking fast eater. And I was like, did you actually taste that at all?
Before.
Yeah.
Have you not noticed that? I'm such a fast eater.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Really?
eat incredibly fast. I also drink fast too, which is not in my best interest.
I knew that.
Yes, you did.
Because I would notice that and be like,
obviously, because
slow
I
down.
mean,
look
at the current drink I have right now, and it's mostly gone.
Yeah.
And I just started this podcast 15 minutes ago. So
It's good.
yeah,
For all the viewers out there, Mike had a drink, and now he doesn't have a drink.
yes,
He's about to get
that's
another
exactly what happened.
The mixed drink cocktail we got going there.
It is gin, vodka, and lime juice. It's delicious, but also extremely strong. So we'll see how this goes.
I definitely stopped eating fast. Like, I used to eat super fast. I would devour things as a kid. And then I went on a trip to Europe at one point at the end of my high school journey time. I don't know what
High
you call
school
it.
career.
I wouldn't say career. I was trying to not use career because I wouldn't call high school my career. But at the end of my high school, I went on a little graduation trip to Europe, and everything was so much slower there, just restaurant wise, and how they wait. Like, they don't kick you out of tables. You can stay there literally as long as you want.
Yeah,
no one cares at all. So that, I don't know, for some reason I stopped eating fast. I was like, I'm just gonna sit, watch the crowd, eat my whatever I'm eating slow, and that's where I really slow down there. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, still eat fast, but for the most part, I think I'm slow.
You have the capability to eat fast if need be.
Yeah. When I was young, one thing that I did that just came back to me is I would fill my mouth up completely full with food. Like, I would literally,
like a chipmunk?
My cheeks would bulge out. And like,
why?
I have no idea. My parents always asked me, they're like, dude, why are you doing this to yourself? Because I would fill it up full of food and then I'd chew and swallow. But, I don't really know why I did it. I think I liked tasting all the food on the plate at once. Because we had like chicken with mashed potatoes, with corn, and with barbecue sauce.
All of the food.
It's like, I was like, I got to get the full experience, like the multicultural experience from all the foods. So
Gotta taste.
That's the exact
mouth.
opposite thing I did as a kid.
You just like one thing, segregated foods.
My foods were heavily segregated.
Yeah.
If they touched, they were dead to me. I could not.
Really? You were one of those kids?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Since then, no, I don't care anymore, and it's even better when you mix. But as a kid, I'm like, no. The peas cannot touch the chicken nuggets.
That's funny.
For some reason.
The chicken nuggets, Mom.
Yeah. The funny thing for me is I was not, we're talking about us as kids. I was always been a fast eater, but I was not a foodie as a kid. As a kid, I was such a picky eater. There was a time when I think it was from like 3 to 4 or 5, where I wouldn't eat nothing but bologna sandwiches.
Ooh.
With mustard.
Bologna?
It's the only, I know.
Oh, no.
It's the only thing I would eat.
I used to eat a lot of bologna.
And
with
my parents-
mustard?
Yeah.
I don't know
With
many
mustard.
kids that like mustard.
Yeah. I don't know what happened either. I still love mustard. But I hate bologna now. There was a time where
the same. Do you like bologna, Colton?
I
you have it as a kid?
used to be into it when I was very young as well. I don't like it anymore. I'll take any other.
I hate it now too. Same thing, Michael.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can't stand it. But my parents had to call everything like chicken bologna, like fish bologna.
Oh, really? They fooled you?
They had to say that.
This fried chicken bologna. It's really good.
And you're like, wow, that sounds pretty good.
You're like, yeah.
They had to call it bologna to like make me eat it. I don't know
What the hell?
what. But then one day it was basically just like all right, I'm done. I can't have any more bologna sandwiches. And they were like, wait, what? We've prepared for essentially the easiest meal ever for like the past 2 years. And you're like, nope, can't have this anymore. And like, I would just not eat. Like I was, just looking at bologna was just gross. And yeah. So that, it's funny how I went from
weird.
there.
It's like a switch flipped one day.
Yeah, I went from there to like, I'll eat basically anything except for green beans. I still to this day hate green beans. They're fucking gross.
Come on. They're pretty good.
You just haven't cooked them in enough butter.
They're basically edamame.
Okay.
Wait.
Anything cooked in butter. Anything cooked in butter.
Cooking it in butter?
Dude, you can cook anything. If you put a tablespoon of butter in that boy, dude, it's like your Michelin star rating just went up by 1. It's just great.
I agree with that. There's, Paula Deen had it right where it's like just put in a bunch of butter and everything tastes delicious.
Yes.
I was also pretty picky as a kid. I think I only ate like about 4 things. I ate chicken nugget dinosaurs. Those are the bomb. And then I ate ramen, top ramen.
Oh.
But very picky about the brand. It needed to be top ramen.
Top ramen.
Haruchan.
Yeah, okay.
Top ramen.
Really?
Yeah, I even to this day, I think there's a distinct difference in flavors, and I don't like one or the other. And then I liked frozen peas. One of the things my parents did, like, you buy peas frozen in the store,
Yeah, I've got some in my
and
fridge
normally
right now.
normally you like steam them and cook them and stuff like that.
I use them just as an ice pack.
Hated it. Literally straight from the bag, frozen. They were like, sick. This is some gourmet stuff right here.
And
I'll
it's
eat
like
that.
50 cents.
But so my parents just stopped preparing the peas, so my brother and I would actually eat them.
Wow.
And those are like the 3. I'm trying to remember anything else that I ate as a kid. I did have a lot of bologna. That stopped pretty early on. Hated bologna now, and I can't even think about it. And that's it. I remember eating a lot of those meals. Chicken nugget taquitos.
Those are still good.
Probably 5.
Those are still great.
Oh my gosh.
Taquitos. And that was it. That was like my childhood food palette.
Dude, I don't know how Gus could eat those. He had always those when we were roommates.
He had a lot of them.
He always had those in the
Taquitos?
freezer. And I was like, dude, how can you eat those? And I'm like,
He'd eat like so many of them too. But I think they're
Which one?
delicious.
They are.
The
Taquitos? He always has them in the fridge.
Yeah, taquitos are
They're
good.
so
I mean, what are you
delicious.
talking about?
It was next to the Burnett's. The freezer was always filled with essentially Bernasties or New Amsterdam and the taquitos. And that was the only 2 things in the freezer.
Yeah, Bernasties and New Amsterdam is vodka. I don't know if that's across
Yes.
all countries. But
Yeah,
yes, the
they're
vodka and the
types of vodka.
taquitos.
I was trying to like actually hide that just so like, if anyone's like, just keep it on the DL. That's just basically vodka.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, but remember, we're not alcoholics.
We're not alcoholics. It was just located next to the giant half gallon of
And,
vodka.
yeah.
Well, see,
That was quick
what
stuff.
would make you one is if you dip the taquitos in the vodka. You're like, yes,
That would
this
be
is true
absolutely
culinary
vile.
genius.
That would be
Especially,
absolutely
I think it was always peach
criminal.
vodka too. Oh God.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Well, honestly, most of that vodka in there, going back to college, was always like someone brought stuff over for us to like make something, and we just like ended up like accidentally leaving the freezer. So we had like these, just like you're talking about the wine bottles, we had like random bits of like
alcohol
quarter
lying
used
around.
or half used vodka just sitting there. So yeah, there you go. A sneak peek into my college dorm life there. Or actually, that was
And
college
imagine,
life.
and I mean, our from our childhood food tastes just then, a snapshot of that developing now into like, I can't have certain things. I'm like, I've had better.
Yeah.
I can't do
The
this here.
foodie, the true like evolution of your food critic is coming out now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I remember, I one of my most, I think, pretentious food thoughts was I went to France and I had paninis there, like street paninis and stuff like that. And I think, well, I can never have paninis anywhere else because now these are the best.
Never have them again anywhere. That's
Or
good.
same with gelato too. Like I've had gelato in Italy, and it's like, no, I'm not having it gelato in America. That's sacrilege.
This is
Never buy gelato anywhere else.
This is peasant gelato.
That's hilarious. Paninis
That's like-
of all things.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen me eat a panini?
No.
I've never seen you eat a panini.
I've only seen
Because
you
it wasn't
eat
in France.
wraps.
That's why.
Oh, there you go.
Actually, they even had
Okay.
paninis at the Cavs, and you're like, nope.
No.
Well,
I've had that.
obviously, caffeine, it's like bottom of the rung, but no.
Japan is a great example of this because
100%.
we all as we all went to Japan, we have experienced now the peak of food.
Basically,
And-
peak of food culture.
It's tough to go back somewhere that has less than perfection in, especially like stuff that Japan's known for, sushi,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
stuff like that.
Any sushi I go to restaurants here, it's like, I mean, there's definitely a time when I like the, Californian style of sushi, right? Which is all like the fancy ingredients
California
and stuff
roll,
like that.
It's the like Asian fusion rolls, with like avocado in it, and
And you're like,
yeah,
or like the fake. There's something about that, right? And sometimes I feel like, but there's nothing about the quality of like a classic nigiri from
just a good
Japanese
piece of
sushi
nigiri,
restaurant.
yeah.
Oh, and like I
Fresh
remember
fish.
specifically when we were over there, when we were at we're at like the shitty conveyor belt restaurants, and even there, it was better than
It's
any
quality.
kind of nigiri I've ever had here.
Yeah, like the salmon.
I mean,
on those nigiris.
The conger eel,
the onigiris too. Like
onigiris, yeah. The rice.
I don't know
the rice.
how the family marts were able to achieve perfect quality in their onigiris, whereas I go to a literal Japanese marketplace here and get like the onigiris there, and they're not good.
Not
They're
the
like
same.
dry, and it's bad.
It's so lucky that you
frankly.
have a Japanese market around. Like obviously,
Yeah, I mean that I'm huge lucky for that, but at the same time, I know quality when
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've
now that
experienced
we've been.
the perfection.
like
Yeah.
any base level, like just cheap, something so cheap over there, and base level is, so like it's the epitome of food that you'd find over in the U.S. Like the best of the best in the U.S. can barely compare to like just base level Japan. It's.
I mean,
fantastic.
we had Kobe beef, when we were there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a whole nother thing.
And
That's on a
that's-
completely different level.
To me,
And
yeah.
I feel, and I was hearing a conversation about this recently, but like I can see how you wouldn't have a full on steak of Kobe beef.
Oh,
But
you'd be
to
sick.
have the
Yeah.
but to have the experience that we did, where they had the small portion divided up into the 6 little bits, and you have them all with the accompanying sauces or salts, whatever, that was very good.
Yes.
And that whole experience is not something that I've had matched in the U.S. before. I don't think.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a comparison of like the U.S. to Japanese culture when it comes to just food portion sizes. Like, think about how massive American food portion. I mean, compared to the rest of the world. Like, I mean, obviously, you've been overseas. I think we've all been overseas.
I mean,
Yep, we've all been overseas.
American portions are disgustingly large.
it's insane. I mean,
Yeah,
think about like going to
on
like
average.
local diner and just how massive the portion sizes are of like, and like just like hash browns, or I mean, obviously Midwest, like big old hash browns, and like big piece of like corned beef, or like sausages. It's huge.
Yeah,
And I mean, you get a lot of bang for your buck, but still, like,
But your
no
quality's
matter where-
probably diminished. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a greater attention to detail in like smaller portions in Japan, more so than America has,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
or other countries. I mean, like I feel like even
Like
France,
has a lot of
or-
small plate
which is
stuff.
heralded as this amazing culinary place. Even then, Japan has a beat. I think.
You think? Yeah. It might be a little subjective, but I think, a lot of people have been saying like Japan does everything good, at least good, right? Like you can go to an Italian restaurant in
The
Japan.
standards are much
The standards
higher.
really
Yeah.
high. So that's why it's really appreciated. And you go anywhere in that country and you'll have a good experience. Like, doesn't matter if it's like kind of more of like a chainy type Japanese restaurant, or
absolutely.
if it's more of like the family owned hole in the wall, like the hundreds of hole in the walls. You can just go to any of them and you'll have a good time.
Loved those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, thinking about, when we brought up that sushi plate earlier, I also thought back to, do you remember that special sushi we had in Tsukiji Market when we were over there? I still have the picture on my phone.
And Tsukiji.
The big tuna head one.
Where we had
I
Oh.
didn't see. I didn't have it actually.
Was it you then, Colton, who
it
had
was
that?
me that had the big
It was you
one.
and you and Colton.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a big piece, like a huge piece.
It was a huge piece of tuna.
I remember recording.
And the gigantic tuna head sitting next to it that they freshly cut it off of.
It was awesome. That's super cool. Yeah.
I'm pretty bummed I didn't eat that.
Yeah, you should have, man.
I just wasn't feeling too hot that morning, so I just didn't want to eat anything.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
fair.
the morning we had to leave, right?
The morning we had to leave. We went there early in the morning, then we came back to the hotel and then left to go to the airport for a bit. But I'm bummed I didn't get to eat that. Next time.
Yeah. Remember the sashimi we had about the first half of our trip?
Oh yeah, that was a weird one.
The horse.
Was it the one at the all women place?
No, the horse sashimi.
Yeah,
we had when we were visiting Fuji.
In Fuji.
That was fun.
And then we got really
Nami
toasted
Hodai
after that.
plus horse sashimi.
I think we got toasted during that.
We did.
It was the beer, unlimited beer hour.
Yeah.
Nami Hodai?
Or unlimited drink hour.
Yes, the unlimited drink hour.
Yeah.
What a great time to visit
and
that place.
I think didn't the staff buy the horse for us?
They were.
I definitely bought that because I saw it and I was like, I need to try this because I'm not going to find horse meat. I know it's kind of like thinking about it, right? I'm like, it's kind of gross eating horse
from our perspective.
Yeah,
it's different.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm glad we tried. Same. This is the only time I'll have when are you gonna have raw horse meat? I'm gonna have something be adventurous about it, and I'm like, all right, I'll try this.
Right.
Ate it. I'll be honest, tasted like
it tasted
lean beef.
It was just bland. It was
really
like
bland.
Nothing,
yeah, I did put like a ton of garlic on it, and that was really good. But I do that to most raw meats, and it's fine. It's great.
Yeah,
you put a ton of garlic on anything, it's tasty.
Yeah,
garlic butter. There you go.
Yep.
But yeah, it was fine. But then obviously we had a couple sochus. I had a lot of sochu, which was delicious.
You did. I remember. They bought us something.
I remember them talking to us a decent amount. Like they were having fun while we were getting toasted.
Yeah, they like watching us.
Of course, they're gonna watch
because we were the only people in there when we got in there, and then there were some people trickling in as we left.
Yep.
But
yeah. And then it started raining, and we got into a sword fight with umbrellas.
Yes.
Yep, I remember that.
That was fun.
Some delicious ramen at the end of the night. I don't know what we were doing between those times because it seems like we finished.
We walked so far to find that ramen.
Yeah, no. Okay, what we did was the snacks. We had the snacks and we waited inside because it was pouring outside.
Oh yeah.
We went to the mystery beer vending machine.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. In our hostel, went to the mystery beer vending machine, and then we went to like that Family Mart or whatever the other Combini brand is over there, and got a bunch of snacks while it was raining.
I think that was a 7-Eleven.
Was it a 7-Eleven? Okay.
Into I was talking about Japan.
I was just talking about Japan.
It's still food centric.
Yeah, it's still food. Yeah,
drinking in Japan. I mean, like that's kind of the
they go hand in hand. I mean, we should have like a walk through our Japan trip.
We should,
one time. But I think stick with food.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much we did and like so many memorable moments. It's hard to pack it into like.
Yeah, we'll have to dedicate a full podcast to that trip.
Absolutely,
because I think it's warranted.
I would love to walk through it the same way we did our college years.
Yeah,
I would love to walk through Japan because I really want to relive that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, every single moment. But yeah,
because
there's just a lot of stuff. A lot we packed in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
Is there any specific spots, in the world or in America that you guys have had where you're like, this place is known for this, and I really like that, or you had a really good thing there, food-wise? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I do have one, yes.
Go for it.
I'm not sure. It's not known for it, but I remember when I was on my internship and I went to Santa Monica, California, I was with a buddy of mine who we were just, getting lunch along the kind of the places where you get food. And we found this waffle chicken sandwich place.
Oh, come on.
I don't think of California when I think
literally, of it was the best waffle chicken sandwich. I was amazed. Like, I thought it was going to be this, I don't know, a stereotypical waffle chicken sandwich, right? Just some waffles with some chicken and maybe some syrup on it, man. We had it. It was like unbelievably good. I couldn't believe. I can't even explain like why it was the best.
Yeah.
The chicken was like a full breast, perfectly seasoned, great breading.
Do you remember the name of the place?
I don't. That's the problem. I think when I go back,
was it Bruxy's or
I don't know. I'd have to go back and find it myself. I could maybe pinpoint the location, like from the ocean, like how many blocks back it was.
Yeah.
But I don't I have no idea what it was called. It was just delicious.
I love how you guys were like all hyped about waffle chicken sandwiches in Montreal, and then you're like,
Yeah,
all right. And then,
going back to that.
A couple years later, you head over to like Orange County, Santa Monica, and take a look at it.
Yeah.
Because like an example that I had was like there's a restaurant, not a restaurant, a sandwich shop in LA called Philippe's, which is the home and the inventor of the French dip sandwich.
Oh,
the French dip.
And
okay.
It's so good. Like you've never had a better French dip sandwich than at this place. It's way worth. It's terrible parking. It's hard to get to, but it's one of the best. And there's stuff like that where it's like I love finding that one place that's so good.
Absolutely
for some reason, you know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other places that are like that. I know.
I mean, we went to Utopia Cafe in Toronto.
For poutine.
I would say that's some of the best poutine ever.
Yeah. Yep. That was amazing poutine. That is probably the best I've had as well. The one there's a sushi place that was near where we went to school. It was in Ann Arbor, but it was near Michigan State because it's like an hour away. But Totoro Sushi. I don't think have either of you guys been there? They're like they have a lot of like Americanized sushi rolls, but one of my favorite ones is the baked lobster roll, and it's like this plate of just regular like California style or California rolls, but they have like this lobster in this like really really tasty like yum sauce, and it's just it's poured on top of the roll, so it's like it's main
California
event.
Roll covered with lobster and just sauce.
Yeah, like they just dumped the lobster on it. It's all and it's warm. It's a warm roll, so that's like. Some people really don't like that. Some people really do. I think it's really good. But that's like my favorite like Americanized sushi restaurant, if that makes sense. Like one where they like do all the sauces and, you know, it's a warm roll kind of thing.
That sounds good.
That does sound delicious.
Isn't warm rolls typical? Is that not typical?
Well, it's definitely not typical in Japan.
American.
Yeah.
I like warm rolls, gotta say.
Yeah.
Big fan.
I mean, I think there's a place for them. I do like them too. Like, you know, I like both. Like sometimes I want my clean cut, just tuna roll. And then sometimes I want that like really Americanized Asian fusion roll. I like both.
There's a place in northern Michigan that I've been to. I think it's a small town outside of Sleeping Bear Dunes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I like Travis.
It's like this. It's this weird. It's just a small bar place, you know. But they had probably one of my favorite burgers I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was a Philly cheesesteak burger.
With like a hamburger and then Philly cheesesteak on top?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was huge and it was so good.
Jeez.
I wanted to eat another one.
Did you have a heart attack after that? Because that's a lot of meat.
That is an insane
I have
amount.
a picture somewhere.
Post
You're
it.
going to find it. But
post on video.
Man, it was so good. And I think I convinced somebody. We went back there the next day so I get another one.
Wow, really? Jeez.
Oh, gosh. Dude.
Yeah, that was really good.
Honestly, hamburgers, like that's like one thing. It's just a staple of America, and I love it. Like anywhere I go, I'm like, I need to like have a good hamburger because it's just something that it's hard to like fuck up, but you can like go from like moderately good to just supremely good. I don't know if you've ever had a bacon guac burger. But those things are freaking spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
Bacon guac.
I love going to different countries and seeing what their take on the burger is. Like when we had that burger in Japan, it was really unique. It was like, you know, not my favorite. It was like an
American style restaurant too, right?
Yeah, it was like, it was almost like more of like a meatloaf patty from what I remember. It was unique, but it's cool to see like what some restaurants over there
hamburger
do that with.
Have you guys know about my quest, right?
To find the best burger of all time.
Exactly.
But we already know what that quest
is. So here's the problem. In my quest to find the best burger, you have to separate the categories.
You do.
Because in fast food, there's a clear winner, and I know maybe this is a divisive opinion for some people.
I don't think this is a hot. I do not think this is a hot take because I know your answer.
Some people.
I know exactly what your answer is. I'm
for me
cringing.
The best fast food burger is In-N-Out, hands down.
No
surprise there.
Contest.
I agree.
But I can't just say In-N-Out is the best burger because that's a fast food burger and they're so unique. And if I put them in the same room as somebody else, I'm probably just going to go for In-N-Out.
Hold up there.
Hence why
Hold up there. Have you tried Whataburger?
I will be trying it in November. That's the only one of the major 5 that I haven't had.
Okay, because hold your horses until honestly, like I've had an In-N-Out burger, but Whataburger, last time I recall, it's been a while. I had one it was probably like 6 years ago. But oh my gosh, freaking phenomenal.
I went to Whataburger, and honestly, it wasn't that great. I wonder if it was the Whataburger I went to. I honestly, everyone praises it so much, but I went to one, and it was like, I'd rather have a McDouble kind of thing. You know what I mean?
What?
I'll be a decider.
I'm going to go to another one.
I'm going to yeah.
Yeah, right. I have to go to another one, but I'm interested to see your take.
Yes,
Burger Lord.
Please do.
Burger Lord.
Wait until I pass judgment upon this chain.
Yes.
But I've had In-N-Out, Five Guys, Harvey's, Shake Shack,
yep.
And the other one is
Whataburger.
That's the 5th one that I've not had yet.
Five Guys is overrated.
I think Five Guys is a very good general burger.
Absolutely.
If I'm thinking of like having it's expensive, it's too much for what it is.
It is D tier.
But
no,
I wouldn't say D tier. I would say
it is definitely an A tier burger. It's not S tier, but it's
A or B. I'd say A or B.
No way, bro.
Here's the thing: is the
Harvey's is a D tier beer. D tier
beer.
I haven't had Harvey's
D tier burger.
I think Arby's is a D tier burger.
Arby's.
They don't even. I would never go to Arby's for a burger. I wouldn't. It's just it doesn't even make the list of 5. We're not even considering that. But so that's fast food, right? And fast food is its own kind of category, I think, because you can't put as much thought as you would into a restaurant burger or something like that.
Okay.
So I'd usually try in my quest to find restaurant burgers as opposed to fast food ones.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the small hole in the wall in northern Michigan, Seabear Dunes, stuff like that. I'm probably not going to have it again because it's probably that one cook that was on fire that night, and that was it.
And they made the magic happen.
So, yeah, it made the magic happen. That type of experience is what I'm always looking for, especially with these burgers, to find the best.
Well, yeah, next time, Sean, when you're in, we all come back to Michigan, we should go back to Ann Arbor because there's a place, I forget the name of it, but it's like a Cuban place that does burgers. And that's probably my favorite burger in Michigan, at least.
Yeah.
Really?
The name is literally, I'm blanking on the name right now, but anyone from the area will obviously know what it is. It is extremely good. And on like weekends, like after 11, it's like $2 burgers. And these are like the burgers the size of a Red Robin burger. Ooh, so you're like getting into like the price competitiveness. Like if you stay up until 11 and you show up there between 11 and 12,
well, that's just getting a drunk crowd from Michigan.
Yeah, from the university over there.
In the realm of sandwiches, I gotta say, I don't want to. If we still got more on burgers, I don't want to get too far off that. But sandwiches, I mean, a burger is considered a sandwich. I think
I agree with that. Yes.
I think there's some debate as to whether it is or not, but I'm going to call it a sandwich. Now, the other sandwich that I'm a big fan of, I'm not really a sandwich guy, but I will always go for a Reuben if I see it on the menu.
I see.
I'm also trying to find the best Reuben possible, and I've had many a good one.
Did you have the one from PB?
Which one's that?
Peanut Barrel.
Peanut Barrel from Michigan State.
I think I did, and that one was decent. It's not top tier.
I'd agree.
For me,
it's best in East Lansing, I'd say, but not the best I've ever had either.
I had one coming back from a trip, like in the middle of Michigan sometime, like northern Michigan, coming back from a trip up there, and it's just random, establishment next to a roundabout. Nothing else around for miles.
That's Northern Michigan.
And had a Reuben there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That was a good one. And I hate when I go to a place and I'm like, you know what? I see the Reuben. I'm going to try the Reuben. And they serve it to me, and I'm like, this is not a Reuben. What have you served me? This is not what I ordered. Because they don't use the right bread, They
don't use rye bread.
Right. And I'm like, what are you doing? This can't be classified as a Reuben then. Like, certain things need to be on it to be a Reuben.
Yeah. Educate a Reuben novice on what makes a good Reuben.
Okay. So, for me, it's got to have the rye bread. The rye bread must be buttered a good amount.
Okay.
And then toasted with the butter. Okay.
Yep.
You're gonna need a good amount of corned beef.
Okay.
All right.
How much?
But it can't overwhelm. But at the same time, you don't want to run out of corned beef before the bread does. That's how much. If I'm eating and all of a sudden the corned beef goes away and I just have the crust left.
Okay.
That's no go.
Good. Okay.
You got to have it kind of spilling out over the sides a bit.
Kind of same with the burger. Like if you run out of burger before you're done with the bun, it's sad.
Yeah, I just stop eating that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other thing I think a Reuben really needs is just the right amount of sauerkraut to dressing ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then it's a picture perfect Reuben, I think.
But just those
that's
simple
your basic.
Ingredients?
It's just simple ingredients. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Some have pickles on them, and some don't.
Why do you need pickles when you got the sauerkraut?
Don't ask me.
Extra pickle.
This is what I've had. But I think those are the basic ingredients that I've noticed.
Yeah.
And
when I'm eating these things.
Some Reubens have Thousand Island on them too.
Yeah, so that's the sauce.
Yeah.
A lot of them is Thousand Island.
Gotcha.
That's the sauce, and it's a great sandwich. I would say this is a great sandwich.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried making your own Reuben with like your ideal proportions? I feel like making your own Reuben would be that bad.
No, because I don't know how to make corned beef. I don't know how that happens.
Huh. Yeah, I don't either. I've never tried it. Can you just buy corned beef and just make it like in like 20 minutes or something?
That's too big brain for me. I don't know about that.
They just
it has to be served to him. He can't just make it.
No.
Served.
That I can't.
For peasants.
Imagine I just make the best burger. I mean, then my quest would be over.
Well, then you have to open your own restaurant because you've had a lot of burgers.
See, this is the reason I started cooking. Is one, because like I obviously need to pay for college, and I can't afford to like eat out like crazy as a crazy college kid. But two, I'm like, all right, I've been so like spoiled on like how awesome and like varied food I've had. Like just eating something like pasta with meat sauce every day is gonna like destroy me. Like it'll destroy my soul. And so I decided like, all right, I need to like learn how to cook and actually like make different things and have fun with it. I mean, to be fair, I hate pasta with meat sauce quite a bit because it's so easy, and like after a long day of work and school and you're like, I'm dead, then I can just throw that on. But yeah, you just experiment with that, and you can start making like your own better food. Like I just made some, like I think last podcast I talked about, I bought some like awesome ingredients for ramen. I just made that up, and it was freaking spectacular.
Oh yeah,
honest, nice, dude. Did you take pictures or anything?
Yeah, show some pictures
I did
on the.
not of this one.
Oh no,
I'm a
That's
dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Yeah,
no,
but it was great. Technically, it wasn't ramen. It was actually somen. I bought somen noodles.
Ooh,
and
okay.
Hot take, they're actually better.
Are they better? Oh wow,
they absorb stuff more, and I don't know if it's just because of the ones like I can get in the States, but they're just like they're thinner and they can just absorb more stuff. But oh my gosh, it was amazing. I made amazing broth and like, yeah, just
is that with the bones?
No. So I didn't have the tonkatsu. I could not find like the in the recipe, and honestly, I don't have a big enough stock pot to make an actual broth.
Right.
But I just did like a miso style broth, but like the dashi I made. So you like start obviously with like the dashi starting, right?
Yep.
The broth was spectacular with like perfect. and like just this.
If I do say so myself.
I must say,
shut
my
up.
cooking was absolutely on point.
Yeah. No,
Who made this? Oh, yes, thank you very much.
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just drinking myself off here, but it was freaking spectacular. I was really surprised
try some.
About it, but yeah, try it out.
Yeah. I have to try making ramen. I can't believe I like ramen so much, and I haven't even tried it yet. I mean,
and it's super simple. Like,
yeah.
So one thing you can try is obviously pork belly is a pain here to get here, and it's also a pain to cook up. But just go with like thick cut bacon and just chop it up. It kind of does the trick. Like I've used that in the past on it, and it works pretty well.
Nice.
And you get like that flavor, like that. Honestly, it get like a bit of a bacony flavor to it. Oh my gosh! And obviously, bacon tastes delicious. I think this is not controversial take here. Bacon is delicious. You mix that and with I did that with some onions too. Oh my gosh, freaking phenomenal.
So
nice.
You want to know my thought here?
What?
The thing is, for me personally, udon is way better than ramen.
Yeah, that's a hot take. That's definitely not correct. How? Udon is like so like the noodle is hollow. Does that make any sense? The noodle,
it's bigger, but it's more sustenance.
No,
and it sucks up all like the good broth, and so when you eat it, it's like,
and the broth is just usually more central.
Man, but
like
the udon, the texture of udon is just not there for me.
It's
want
the best.
that
When you talk
collection
texture,
yes, you do. It's like the noodle is such a central part of the dish. It has to have a great texture.
No. The noodle is
squishy.
a side part of the dish. It's all about the broth.
Just drink the broth then. Don't have the noodle.
I'm with Sean on this one. It's
no way.
Delicious. I drink the broth
udon?
even after ramen. I'm like,
I do too. But it's like if udon's not about the noodle, then it's just a subpar version of ramen because the ramen is about the noodle.
The noodle is just a delivery device.
Yes,
a delivery device. I don't think so. I think the noodle
for the sauce to you in a way that provides you with something to chew on.
The noodle should be an integral part of the entire experience, not just a middleman of flavor. You know what I mean? Like udon. Udon also. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've had different types of udon, you can let me know. But udon always seems to have a really laid-back broth. It's not thick. I like thicker, more pungent, I guess. That's a bad word to describe it.
Pungent.
But I like really like just flavor-intensive broths, which ramen seems to consistently give me.
Have you ever had curry udon?
Now that is the shit.
I don't think so. Is that still like, you like put curry powder in the udon broth? Or
I don't know how they make it. I think they just make curry, and then put noodles in that and some other stuff.
Oh, it's literally just curry
like
with
the curry.
I
think it's the curry roux that you get, and like mix it in with
that could maybe be
broth.
Good. That's like getting towards like the sukimen type stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
because it's like the thicker noodles.
I had sukimen for the first time. Actually.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
How was that?
How'd you like that?
And sukimen, for everybody doesn't know, is just it's like deconstructed ramen. You have like noodles on the side, and then a bowl of broth, and then you can dip the noodles in the bowl, but it's more concentrated broth, so it like sticks to the noodles more. And it was pretty good. Where I had it was all right. I thought it was pretty good. I think it would have been better if they had done the broth was thicker, because it wasn't thick enough.
Or if they were in Japan.
Well, yeah, if it was in Japan, it would have been perfect. Yeah. But unfortunately, I had to go to some cheap knockoff here in America.
Carbon copy.
No.
But yeah, udon superior. This is fact.
I don't know, man. We can let the viewers vote, but ramen is superior. It's just, there's no other way to explain it. No. It's like ramen. It's just so much more flavorful. Why?
There's no possible other way we can
Why don't they make udon in like little packages that you can get with ramen?
To be
fair, there's a reason. I think it's because udon is
what do you mean?
C tier.
What do you mean?
Like you can't
little package.
Like the dollar packages of dried ramen. Like the top
They do
ramen.
make udon like that.
Well, why can't I find it? Because it sucks.
I don't know.
To be fair,
what backwater country you live?
He does have a point though. Yeah. Like ramen is so ubiquitous compared to udon.
I think because udon noodles are so much thicker, they have more water content. It's harder to
Like
whatever you call
resaturate?
them.
Water content.
Resaturate
It's not flavor. It's water.
Get out
I
of
can't
here.
accept this opinion.
Now,
I've had like packs of pre-made ramen where you just put that into like a boiling pot and it boils up.
Yeah.
have you had
Sorry, udon.
Udon
is
is
what I'm
what you
talking.
mean.
Not
Yeah, I was
ramen.
like,
have you
okay.
had yaki udon though? Because that's like a whole nother ballpark.
What's that?
What is yaki udon?
Have you never had yaki udon before? It's where
I
they
haven't.
I don't
they,
think so.
like they'll take
Put a
it
picture
and-
on the screen. I'm gonna look
Yeah,
at pictures
yeah,
myself.
right, exactly. No, it's where they like grill it up, and it's more like almost like a lo mein, but with ramen noodles, obviously. And so you
That
like
looks
toss
good.
it, and
Oh, but there's no sauce. It's like a
No.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like your lo
it's like
mein.
it's like soba.
the sauce is like soaked into the into it. It's delicious.
I could get on board. I would
Oh, this
definitely
looks
try it.
so
because like it's like
good.
stir fried right in with it, and it's pretty
Yeah.
tasty. And so you get like this kind of like the sponginess of the udon, but then obviously with like a stir fry mix.
It doesn't look bad.
This is right up your alley. I'm just posting a picture here in our chat. This is yaki udon. That looks good.
Oh,
It's basically soba noodles.
It's
like,
that's kind of
thick,
and I do like
but with
soba a
thick with-
lot.
but
yeah.
thick
thick with 2 C's.
thick with three
Three
C's.
C's.
Oh man, I'm gonna make this. Actually, this is
Yeah.
the thing I'm going to make. I have udon noodles. I got frozen udon noodles in the fridge.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm gonna make
All right.
this sometime.
Don't
soon.
be like me and actually post a pic.
Actually posted. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I have a pic. I can show you a pic of like the previous ones I made. I made one a couple months back. I think it was back in August, and I can show you that one. But no, unfortunately, I don't have one of the current one, which was like before it was like a C. This one was like at least an A.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
Okay, so I'm looking at the ingredients list. Stir fry vegetables, scallions, meat, avocado oil. I've never heard of this before, but
skip
okay.
that. Just
You're-
use canola.
The
Soy
man.
sauce, oyster sauce, mirin, brown sugar, rice wine vinegar.
that sounds pretty basic.
That's simple.
Yeah,
that's easy.
pretty basic Asian
No
ingredients.
problem. I'm gonna make this.
All right, well, let's know what
What
it
threw
is.
me off is the rice wine vinegar. I don't know why. It sounds
You
weird,
know,
but-
Half a tablespoon,
Oh, okay.
half a teaspoon. So not a lot.
you know what would
Yeah.
be really fun to do one of these
I'm gonna
days
bookmark this.
when we all see each other again. So I get good at making ramen. Sean, you'll get good at making like your water noodles, and then Mike will get good at making. Well,
You have a
what?
shokugeki.
Yeah,
So,
basically like prove to each other what is the best. Become an expert in one type of
I
ramen.
like
It is a
this
shoku.
idea.
or yeah.
I mean,
So
I
then
don't
we
know
can
about
just-
expert. I'll say I'm somewhat lukewarm, good enough in it.
Well, to whatever. Yeah, we'll make it the best we can, and we'll practice the recipe.
All right.
And then we'll decide
made-
what's the best.
We made some of the best katsudon in Colorado.
That was
When we all went to
a year or so
Colorado.
back.
Yep.
If the rice had been perfect, it would have been a
That
perfect
The rice
that
bowl of
was
katsudon.
absolutely garbage. Like, I think that was the worst rice I've ever tasted in my life.
We washed that way too long.
I was like,
Sorry.
dude, I'm going to make the best rice I've ever made. I'm going to wash it like 15 times. There will be no starch left. And obviously, that was the worst idea
And I
you
think
could
that-
ever
I
have.
felt like
Yeah.
I didn't understand the connection between starch and rice at the time, and now I understand it.
I just thought you
know?
watched it more, the better the rice was. And I remember when our friend Ian came back, he's like, Colton, I think if you wash the rice too much, you could like get rid of all the starch and it wouldn't be very good. And I'm like, Ian, I doubt you've made rice before, so let's just continue. And he was absolutely
amateur.
right.
I know what
He
I'm
was
doing.
Amateur. I made katsudon at home. I know what I'm doing. And
Oh no!
it was terrible.
well. To be
Like,
fair,
I
this
can't
was
believe
pot rice as well. This is not rice cooker rice.
This is like put it in the
just in a
pan,
pot.
in the pot,
Like a plebeian.
Yeah, like a casual, right?
Yep.
But man, some people ate all of it, and I remember like our other friend Tiara, she's like, I felt the love you put into the rice, and it was delicious. And I'm like, man, the only reason people
I'm
are
like,
eating it is
you're
'cause it's so
lying, but
drunk.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the egg and the not the chicken, the pork that you made, Sean.
No, we
Pork
did use chicken on that one
Oh, we did. You're right. Yep, you're right.
because I don't think Sydney could eat pork, so we went with chicken.
Yep.
And I think that whatever we did, sauce combination, egg, like it was the best amount. It was so good.
Yeah,
yeah.
because you did like this whole like dashi mix, and you like marinated it, right?
Yeah, we did homemade dashi for that
Yeah,
too.
that was really good.
oh,
That's
man.
super good.
It's fun. That's what I use for the ramen too.
Yeah.
But no, and you guys use the panko, and like that just seals the deal.
The panko was a good idea too.
I was very adamant we had to get panko.
And you baked it, right?
Yeah,
we baked it.
That was delicious.
It was very delicious.
That was great. I'm so excited to get a rice cooker.
Have you not had a rice cooker?
You don't have one yet?
No, I mean I had one in college. Yeah, but I'm saving up because I want one of the nice ones. I want the
$300 the like crazy ones.
Yeah, the $200-$300 ones.
Is that needed?
Yes.
Some of the best rice I've ever had is from my like plastic container,
dude.
And you just flip a switch and it cooks it.
Yeah.
I'm spending at least $150 on a rice maker.
I've got a $35 one, and
I won't feel bad about it.
You'll have to see. I don't know.
This is the front loader. Super easy.
I can't.
It's the Bentley of rice cookers. Okay.
I can't
imagine. It's gonna be
you're getting
amazing.
Like you've been taken by the brands.
Yeah, I can't imagine how that's
I can't pronounce the brand. How can I get taken by that?
Exactly.
It's like, it must be imported from Japan. If it's not, it's plebeian.
I'm going to send you guys a video about how to cook the best rice, and they're going to have the rice cooker that I want in it.
How to cook the best rice. First, buy yourself a $300 rice cooker, or you're a plebe. Step 2.
I saw a recent video on that. It was black garlic, and like the first thing was like, yeah, you need to buy this $500 dehydrator. I was like, yeah, okay, thanks, man.
I love those cooking videos where they're like, so I had to, cure the meat, or I had to I'm making this marinade, but then I had to buy this exquisite pepper from South America, and it cost me like $20 to import.
If you don't buy the pepper, then
the recipe's,
what are you even doing?
Yeah, it's like, are you silly? Are you stupid?
I've got not great knife skills. Like I can chop, but I'm not like doing like the fan. You know what I'm talking about, like the chef cut. And I'm like, I see that, I'm like, this guy is not a home cooking at home. This is not like this guy's got a lot of experience. I'm like, maybe let's move to the video. But there's definitely some good channels on YouTube I'll watch on like just different cooks. Don't want to throw any like crazy names out, but I like it. There's a lot of like a couple guys who like cook at home mostly that I'll watch, and it's really interesting because like they'll go into detail on it, and just it's really interesting at like how the science behind some of the different processes like Maillard reaction and everything like that, and like the science behind that.
Yeah, how food changes when you cook.
It's really fancy. Like one recent one I saw was like how I don't know if you've ever had like ceviche or anything that's cooked through.
I think so.
Acid
in water thing.
Yeah. So they use like lime juice, right? And that cooks for at least ceviche is like the fish, and it cooks the fish. And that it changes how like
how the final
taste
and
how the proteins changes how the proteins are structured through with the acid versus then like cooking with it. So yeah.
I went camping recently, and I with a group of people who like college kids, or my age, but college, like in PhD programs and stuff like that. And then some of the younger ones too that are undergrads. And very much I was getting vibes from my outdoor club days because they basically just had like soup cans that they all poured together and like heated up this giant thing of like pasta and soup. And I was there at one point. I know what it's like, but I'm an adult now. And I thought I'm gonna show these kids how it's done. I went to the store. I started with a New York steak strip from the butcher.
Geez.
All right, got there. And then I went around. I got my noodles, everything. I got everything to make one pot beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And oh boy, was it delicious. I got to say, I all made it in a single cast iron pan. I'm going to throw a picture up here, but
best camp food you've ever had.
I don't know if this comes across, but like,
I
don't think it's. I'm gonna send it to.
Is
our
that your camping stove?
Yeah, well, so I borrowed one my dad's one, which is like I have a tiny little pocket rocket, which is not gonna cook this thing. No, I needed like an actual stove with a propane tank and everything, and I went all out, and it was so worth it because it was delicious. I ate almost the whole thing.
Did not share any with your
with your
Oh,
mates.
I did share. After I finished, I was like, all right, I'm done
have
with this
the
now.
scraps, peasants.
Yeah.
This is what king's food is like.
Yes. Oh gosh. No,
It was worth
I remember.
100%. I love doing stuff or going fancy like that, or
Yeah.
just trying to cook something
Honestly,
new.
I remember backpacking when I was younger and getting. It was delicious. It was the bagged like beef stroganoff that you get like the dehydrated stuff. I remember having that.
That stuff's pretty
It's
good.
so tasty, and making that. And then my grandpa had. I went camping with my grandpa, and he had his cast iron, like is for making waffles, and so we had made bought a big thing of batter. I think it was like the Kodiak cakes, like the protein stuff.
Yeah,
and made those, and then just like cooked those up over a campfire with the little like waffle iron. It was awesome. He also had a thing for like corned beef hash, and so I remember one other night we made some corned beef hash too. And, oh my gosh!
I went backpacking, 6 to almost a year ago. I don't even know the time anymore these days.
Yeah.
But I was with my dad and then some of his friends who are into backpacking. And this is a 6-day trip. To put in perspective, you want to travel light. At least I do. I don't like to carry a ton of weight. So the food is definitely not, amazing. You have some ramen,
right.
and then you have, a couple of the things that Michael's talking about, like the
space food,
the space food type deal where you just pour in boiling water and it works,
yeah.
which are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But we're on like the 3rd day of this trip. All right, sitting around a campfire, and one of the guys just starts pulling out stuff, and he's like, I'm like, what are you doing? He made beef udon.
What?
3 days into this backpacking trip, with like big chunks of meat, and like, I'm like, that smells so good. And some of these guys like just carry absurd amounts of weight in just food. Like someone else pulled out like a pound bag of just rice.
What?
It's
like, all right,
where are you storing this?
Rice. Did they share at least?
Oh man, yeah. No, I tried.
Okay, that's
so
good.
It was good, but
they bear the burden of the weight.
Yeah,
that's one of the things that I won't do because I don't want to carry that weight. But I would love to occasionally, pull out this, like, especially when you're 3 or 4 days into a trip, you're eating trash food. You pull out something good,
delicious.
Everyone's like, "Oh my
actual
god!"
meats,
how'd you do that?
Nice,
very fun.
I need to go backpacking more. I've not been backpacking like much at all. I need to.
Have you ever been backpacking?
I mean, backpacking and then camping. Like the most recent time I've camped is when you and I went to Yosemite, Sean. And that is a long time ago. That's 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wow. I missed it. I liked when we made...
I wouldn't call that backpacking.
Yeah,
camping.
It's not backpacking, but when you backpack, you go camping. You camp during your trail, right?
Yes,
yeah,
that's true. That's
I
true.
want to do that, too. That sounds very fun.
It is.
I liked when I had peanut butter sandwiches when we backpacked and camped. And getting beef udon.
Yeah. The peanut butter sandwiches, we didn't... I mean, that was just a day hike, though, but I mean, a hell of a day hike up Quandary.
Yeah.
For someone like me.
Oh, yeah. When we went to the 14er
in Colorado.
Yeah, for someone like me who's not like super active, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
You were feeling.
Oh, I was.
I was legit worried about you and Alex at one point.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
Alex, it was just her knees. I was like, her knees were just bad, but for me it was like.
But you don't want to be 14,000 feet up
and then have a
problem with your knees,
And I was like, oh, and for me it was not so much knees, it was just the breathing, like just the altitude, man.
Yeah. Fuck. We should have started slower. We like went 100 feet. We were blitzing, and it's like, holy crap! This is not.
Then you say that, and we have the guys
level
who are running up and down that, right?
Yeah, those locals, right?
Dude, it's nuts. Heck, even Ian.
I live at sea level.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like at foot. You starting at 10,000 feet and then going up.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Nuts.
We definitely should have one more day of acclimation, at least for my thing. And I should have done some runs. Like I know Sydney did some running when we were in Colorado. I definitely should have done some like mile or two runs at that altitude. So like I just get my body more acclimated to that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's tough though. I mean, it's a very different vibe, and I don't know, even if I was acclimated and I just went on a 14er, I'm not sure I would just be, I can do it. Like, it's still tougher than sea level for sure.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, these 14ers are like these are mountains that are above 14,000 feet in Colorado, and it's known they're called that in Colorado because, for the most part, there's I think the most peaks over 14,000 feet anywhere in the U.S. in Colorado. And I think there's like 59 peaks that are over 14,000 feet, and they call them the 14ers, and they're no joke sometimes.
Yeah.
And
an experience.
And you put that in perspective, right? Quandary is like it's like an easy mode one, right? It was like
Quandary's supposed to be one of the easier ones.
Well, what was the one Ian was telling us about that hike? It was the 3 14ers in one day you're supposed to do. It's the do you remember the name of that?
I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I remember seeing the peaks from that up top. But yeah, also it's freaking cold up there. I did not dress right for that. I didn't realize.
Yeah, none of us were going to realize.
We all had jackets though.
Well, I had jackets, like a couple layers on, and like most of it was like the wool, and still it was like wind cut to the bone.
Getting to the top on that was spectacular though.
It was.
You have that final approach
beautiful,
where it's just pretty level for the last 100 feet.
Yep.
Then you get into the little wind cache. It's like built a wall of rocks.
The wall of rocks someone built. Yeah.
And we just huddle up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was amazing up there. That 360-degree view.
Yeah, our
unobstructed.
group pics were phenomenal all the way up there. That was awesome.
And you guys notice like the sky color too, like how like compared to sea level, like it's even then, right? Obviously at like you'll see pictures of Everest, it'll be like completely pitch black, but even up there, I noticed that like the sky colors are like a lot deeper blue. Because what is it? It's 50% atmosphere at 14,000.
Maybe.
Really?
I don't know.
That makes sense. I was breathing so hard.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly the amount that we didn't have. I just knew it was hard. I'm glad we brought those little oxygen cans.
Oh, those were dope.
Those were nice. We had to get oxygen cans to like if we ever got lightheaded. It's like a little inhaler. You just put over your nose and mouth and helps you out.
That did make you feel better.
I think so. It was nice. It was nice to have. It's a good. I feel like a lot of people don't travel to America and do that. I wonder if there are other places to do that in the world. It's something I would recommend. Doing.
I mean, the Alps.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking of too.
But I think it's interesting because the Alps are tall, but what makes the 14ers unique is they're all, in the 14,000s, and there's so many.
Yeah.
It's like a very consistent thing as opposed to you go to the Alps or somewhere like that or, the mountain range in Peru. It's like all these things are it's just a giant mountain range,
Yeah.
That just goes up high.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like Cusco in Peru, as you're saying, like, right, that's like 2 miles up, which is also pretty crazy, right?
But it's like you start at 10,000, 11,000 feet, and you stay in a town there, and you just go up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, it's an experience.
It's a great time.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to come to America sometimes because of how spread out everything is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta like
we've talked about all these different food recommendations. They're like literally 20 hours driving apart. Minimum 4 to 5 hour travel sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, the distance between California and Michigan is what?
It's absolutely wild.
3,000 miles.
At least 2,600.
Yeah.
2,600. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, you'd be the one to know, but it's nuts that
and to fly. It's so much work to get around this country.
Yeah. You got to pick a spot and stay there. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like,
and most people don't go to Colorado. They go to NYC, LA.
Yeah. I feel like
which is a bummer because Colorado is one of the best.
I feel like people that come in from outside the U.S. just don't understand that scale. Like they'll be like, I've heard stories like people, I want to visit New York City and then go down to Miami in like a day, and you're like, that ain't a day.
You better rethink that.
Yeah.
And then New York and LA, they're so close. No, it's like when you think about it, right? It's you put it on a map and you are going from like say Europe, right? You're going from the entirety of Europe across the way. It's like trying to go from
it's like
Normandy to all the way to somewhere like in like Belfast or Turkey. It's just that distance. It's insane.
Yeah.
I was talking to some of the people I hang around with now are Spaniards, and they were talking about how when they got here, their concept of travel changed.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like in Spain, Barcelona or something like that, you don't think about, oh, I'm just going to drive a couple hours to go see this thing.
Yeah.
That's not a concept. You wouldn't, if it's more than 30 minutes, it's like
out of the way,
all day trip, all this thing. But here it's like, oh yeah, I'll drive an hour.
Yeah, drive an hour and do
it's
this
very
thing.
common.
Yeah, for sure.
We both, right before this, I just drove 2 hours to see some fam this past.
Yeah, and I drove 5 to 6 hours to see some fam. So that was a weekend trip.
That's a weekend trip.
I could have traveled through like 3 countries in Europe for that.
Yeah.
You honestly could have. I mean, it's nuts. But I think that's either lost, But you think, though, the fact that everything's so close, they would travel, but they don't.
Well,
like, I feel people don't travel here partly because it's cost prohibitive and just hard.
More difficult.
There's no public transportation or anything. I don't understand why a lot of Europeans don't do that because they have great public transportation.
I thought they did. I thought like a lot of the people in the UK went around to other countries. I thought they were all very open to travel.
That's because they're British, and the British have to just...
The British hate
they're
everything.
Used to invading other countries, so they'd like to travel.
Yes.
Wow. That's a good one.
Right. I mean, but the Spaniards, I guess they had the Inquisition, but for the most part, they stay where they are. I mean, French people, I think, move about within their own country. Like everyone in Paris goes to the south of France every weekend.
Yeah.
It's just like a thing.
Yeah.
But no one thinks to travel. No, I shouldn't say no one, but I think a lot of people just don't travel around.
Yeah.
There around the European Union. Which is a bummer.
Yeah.
I think.
It is a bummer. I mean, a lot of people who travel to Europe, it's like a huge, awesome opportunity to, go to so many different countries, especially with, I think it's Ryanair, where you can get those penny tickets or whatever to fly around.
Yeah.
Like $50,
less than $40, or even less than 10.
Yeah, it's like you can do just a weekend in Spain if you're from the UK. Just go to Spain. It's like just a couple bucks and you're in.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's something I would love to have over here.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
I would like to do more things in the U.S., but I can't get there in a reasonable time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just gotta get
or cost.
You gotta work for Delta or one of the airline companies. Do you know the perks you get from that?
Yeah, get free flights.
You get to pay for tax on flights. A lot of people that I currently work with worked at Delta once upon a time, and they're like, yeah, like me, we had 8 friends, and we just planned trips anywhere in the world or weekend trips anywhere in the world because there's 8 of us. We get wherever we want to, wherever we want for housing, and we just go there for the weekend. Go to Europe or whatever.
Dope.
And it's we did it every other weekend. Like every other weekend they were traveling because it costs $50 to get there.
Oh, geez.
It's more money. It's more money for me to drive 5 hours in the United States than for them to go overseas.
That's nuts.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
it's wild.
That does show a point, right? Is that in the U.S., you're not flying everywhere. You're mostly driving, right?
Mostly driving.
When I think about the Midwest especially, I'm like, all right, there's this kind of the concept of the road trip, right? I know my family did them as much as we could, when I was younger. Going out. Oh, we're going to go out either Michigan or go to Ohio, even though there's not much in Ohio, Indiana, and then you can go to. I've done road trips all the way out east to Maine.
To Maine, yeah.
Hell of a road trip.
Maine and Virginia is popular.
Yeah, we've done other road trips out west as well. Got obviously family all over the U.S.
I mean, flying is definitely not the first thing that people think to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of people in the U.S. actually are afraid of flying. I know plenty of people I know are like, I'm kind of trepidatious about actually hopping on a plane.
Which doesn't make sense, I think.
It's a lot
agree
safer
with
flying
that.
than it is taking a car.
Driving, technically, yeah.
Yeah.
But people like their cars.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I have no problem flying personally. I kind of like it. I just the hassle in the airport can be a bit of a bummer, but
yeah.
Other than that, it's one of my preferred way of traveling. I do, however, love to road trip. I'm a big fan of just driving for hours.
We were talking about you heading up to Canada, that one road trip when you're coming into MSU. Yeah, that's hell of a trip.
That was a long drive.
Yeah.
But worth it, you know. And there's something interesting about just being on a road all day.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it exactly. I don't know if I can define it, but something that I just like doing.
It's like you're in charge of your own destiny. It's like, I want to keep going, or
it's
I
a very
want to
American thing right there.
Yeah, it's like very, it's a pretty good way to put it.
I have the power.
Yep. I can do what I want. I'm not
under
anyone's
what it is
schedule.
too. It's like I have control of the vehicle. I can do whatever I want, and there's also beauty in that too, because like you can be so spontaneous. You can be so spontaneous and just go anywhere you want, right? Like, oh, you see this like weird spot on the side of the road, like one of those mystery spots or whatever, right? You just go there.
Yeah.
Mystery spots.
That is very
totally
cool about it.
Other thing that we can talk about sometime, but I don't know if you've ever seen any of those.
That's a weird American thing for sure. Is these mystery spots?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like. It sounds like some sort of weird drug thing. Like if you go out there, that's going to kill
half
you.
Half of them probably are.
Know?
Let's be real; they're pretty sketch.
And then I don't know if they're all the same or if they all just like have to clarify. If either you've never been to America or you've never been on long road trips, you will occasionally you'll see a sign that says mystery spot, 100 miles down the road or in this town, and they're like. They give you no information about what is at this thing or what even the mystery spot is. It's just a mystery spot, and you have to go and figure out what the heck's the mystery.
Yeah. It's like getting a random icon popping up on your RPG. It's like just a random thing. It's like,
I
gotta go find it.
Yeah. And most of the time, they're like these kind of like semi-cheap amusement parks, I guess you could call them that.
Yeah.
They just have like...
Yeah.
I remember I actually ended up going to one in Kentucky, of all places, and it had like a luge run down a mountain. That was time. That
sounds cool.
I was going too fast and I flew off, and that was not fun. But
have you been to one with one of those forced perspective houses?
I don't think so. No, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like a fun house.
There was, yeah. Well, kind of. I mean, like I went to one of these things, and you walk into this house, but it's on a hill, and everything's shifted.
Oh,
so it looks
weird.
straight, it looks straight when you're looking at it, but if you go into it, the gravity is all off.
Oh.
Because everything's shifted in a different way.
Yeah.
So like you are constantly like, it's hard to like move around in it because your brain thinks it's one direction. Gravity should be one way, but it's
not.
It's a different way.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
it's really weird.
I feel like it's something before the invention of like the internet and cell phones. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever." But now it's like, not so much.
Bit iffy.
Yeah, and they're definitely pretty sketch. I mean, it
can be.
My recommendation is if you do ever visit any of the listeners, be careful, be on guard when going.
Do it with someone.
Spot. Yeah, exactly.
Have an exit strategy.
Yeah.
Maybe don't exit the vehicle. Yeah.
Do not be inebriated when you do this, or do be and just roll with it. But
it's at your own risk.
Dice to the wind.
Exactly. Yeah, it's there's a lot of weird stuff in the U.S. Not to be totally honest.
Yeah, it's good.
I prefer going to caves as opposed to mystery spots.
There's some cool.
There's a lot of cool caves that you can find in America that I've been to a couple now, and it's fun. I went on a candlelight tour.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds really neat.
You're in a pitch. If you've ever seen pitch absolute black before, you'll find it in a cave. And at one point in the candlelight tour, we all blew out the candles one by one.
Then
it's just dark.
Darkness.
And I can't even, I hear stories about people getting lost, in these things with no light. And I'm like, I can't, I would
That's
go
awful.
insane very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst.
Have you been to Mammoth?
But it's super cool.
Mammoth Caves, Kentucky?
Lakes or? No, I've not been to Kentucky before, actually.
Have you, Golden?
I don't think so. I went on a zip line in some caves in Kentucky. I didn't think they were Mammoth Caves
awesome.
though. Yeah,
I mean probably because it's zip line. No, Mammoth Caves is a giant national park down there, hence the name the Mammoth, and they're pretty awesome. Same thing. Like did that candlelight tour, and they're just gigantic. Like a lot of them have been mined out. For like gypsum and stuff like that, but no, it's a kind of cool spot. It's like a national park, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely, especially the smaller caves. I know I'm betting like you went to one like out west there, Sean.
I went to, I believe, Wind Cave or Jewel Cave in like South Dakota.
Oh.
And that's one of like the biggest cave systems in the world, but it's pretty narrow. And it's, very tight passage and stuff like that. And the only known natural entrance to it, there's two natural entrances. One of them is, probably about the size of your fist,
Okay.
And the other one is about the size of your waist. You can barely squeeze it.
That's going to scare so many people off. Jeez.
So, I mean, that's not how you go in now. They tunneled into it so you get into it. But
okay.
Initially, when they first discovered this thing out in the Oregon Trail times, they found there was just this hole in the ground that was just barely can fit in, and people explored it back then.
That's insane.
That's how you get into it. You have to go straight down for a bit, like I think 10 feet, and then it's a curve, and then another down, and then you're like into a bigger area.
Dude, the amount of balls our ancestors had to do that.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
And then I also went to Carlsbad Caverns in Texas. I believe it's Texas. And that, I think, is one of the biggest open, if not second biggest, open spaces underground in the U.S. It has like the one room called the Big Room, and it's just
a big room.
Yeah,
it's a big room. I mean, like it's impressive just to see that it's natural.
Yeah,
something that space like that can form.
Yeah, it is
very impressive.
I think the coolest one I've been to is Crystal Caverns. I forget where exactly on the map that is. I'm pretty sure it's southwest. But yeah, and that one had like a lot of like the stalactite. It was pretty small, but had a lot of the cool stalactite formations coming down and a bunch of different minerals all trapped in there. Hence the name like crystal. Like when you put the light to it, it created like kind of like prism effects and stuff. It was pretty fabulous. I really remember just like wandering through there and just being amazed. I mean, I was probably pretty young at the time, probably like 10, but just being like amazed at like how this is all created naturally.
Oh shit!
Have you seen?
I was at
the.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I was at the
Carlsbad.
I think. Oh, I was at the Mammoth. Was it the Mammoth Cave?
Yeah,
I think that's where I was. I didn't even know. Yeah, where I ziplined.
Ah, dope.
Didn't even know. Cool. All right, I've done it. It was cool. It was big.
I can imagine ziplining through that. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be cool.
It was super sweet, dude. It was all lit up cool too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to go to the cave system in Mexico.
Is that the one?
The one that has the giant quartz pillars and spires.
Oh, really?
You've probably seen the picture.
Oh, that's like 2 miles underground, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's super deep. Really hard to get to. I really want to go to it, though, because it looks so cool.
I really want to go to is it Sparrow Cave? I think it's in Southeast Asia. It's the one that's just this. It's the one that you base jump into.
So you base jump into
it. Yeah.
Literally, it's like I think it's like a 500-foot drop coming down.
Oh,
from
that's
that,
sick.
And you base
that's
jump
pretty
into
sick.
A giant hole in the ground.
Like imagine just base jumping into a giant hole in the ground. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Damn. The one
cool
I really want to go to is in Iceland. They have glacier caves made out of glaciers.
Oh,
you could dive in like
cool.
100 feet under the ice, and then there's like ice caverns that you go explore.
That's gonna be really dangerous though, man, because of just like the shifting glaciers.
Do it in the winter. Don't do it in the summer.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're about to get hit by like an ice river.
Yeah.
Down
so
that's really scary.
Those are beautiful. I've seen some pictures of them, and I almost did it because I was possibly going to go to Iceland like months ago and didn't end up going. But
that really sucks. I forgot actually the coolest cave system I have visited was this is not in the U.S. but in New Zealand. So I went to New Zealand freshman year for 3 weeks, but we went to what's the name of it? It's the glowworm caves. And so there's
glowworm caves.
That sounds super cool.
That does sound amazing.
I'm trying glowworm caves, glowworms, New Zealand. There you go.
Oh, it's this.
I'm trying to remember what Waitomo, and going
Waitomo cave system.
That was amazing because I rappelled down about 300 feet into the cave. And you like go through like this kind of like trek through the caves itself and see the glowworms. They weren't super active the time I did it. They were kind of glowy, but not super much. But just
So
for me, it was the rappelling. I rappelled 300 feet down into a cave. Like, how cool is that?
That's pretty big. Not many people get to do that.
Yeah, that's sweet. That sounds exhilarating.
It was. And I have a terrible fear of heights too. So just like looking down at that, I just remember like don't look down. Yeah, the initial like just the vertigo from it.
Yeah,
and eventually you get kind of used to it. Yeah, that was a time.
Could you see the bottom? It wasn't like pitch black or anything. You could see like
it was a bit
cave.
misty, but you could see the bottom.
Okay, gotcha.
It's like almost the scarier part, I'd say.
You can actually see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can see where I'm going to die if I fall.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's the end.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty cool experience though, and you just like climb down this, you rappel down this like rock face, and then they take you up that as well. Although I don't think you climb it, you just get pulled up because it was kind of just a straight drop down. There was a bit of a rock face, and then it kind of widened out. Obviously, when it hits the cave systems, you can't climb it, unfortunately, Sean.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Missed
Well, I bet you can. I bet there's like a spot where you can go, up the side of it or something, or do inverted for quite a bit of time and then get up the top.
Yeah. Dang, sounds fun though. One day I want to explore more of these things.
Yeah, I want to go explore a lot of these things as well.
It's tough because there's so many places I want to go back to, and then I also want to explore new places.
Yeah, and the balance.
It's really tough to decide where to go or what to do.
Yeah, there's too much.
How to split your time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I feel really fortunate that we can do that, right? Is being able to like, head out and see all these like crazy places throughout the world.
Yeah.
If only I had unlimited PTO.
Unlimited money and unlimited PTO.
Need to find a place that lets me do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a way. Yeah.
Hence why you gotta like find something where you can like do that, right? Have a job that takes you somewhere.
And then do the cool stuff while you're at that somewhere.
Yeah.
Time to turn into a travel channel, guys.
Right.
I'd
love to do that though.
15 best places to visit in Spain, number 1.
Because I feel like I'm pretty good at traveling on the cheap.
Oh yeah, we definitely are.
You know, like I can find good deals or just like cheap places to do stuff to do while still being fun.
Except for food,
I think. Well, you want to splurge.
Don't cheap out on food. Cheap out on your living conditions.
Honestly, Japan's the best example of that. We spent we only was like one place where we're like, okay, we're gonna go all out, and that was
Millennials, and it was still a pod hotel technically.
Yeah,
so
but
still cheap, still cheaper.
I'll be sure I thought the one that we stayed at in Osaka was pretty awesome too, and that was like $20 a night. It was also
Which one was that one? I don't remember.
It was downtown Asakusa. It was
right. I remember we talked about
like the boxes, like the stack. They were like
is in the box. Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It was by
like
McDonald's.
Bunk beds. Yeah. It was right next to McDonald's.
By the McDonald's.
That was my favorite spot there.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good spot too.
Besides Millennials. Millennials just had the features.
Yeah. I'll be going back there. I'm going back there when I go to Kyoto again.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but I think I'm good at doing that. So that was one of the things of like maybe I do a travel channel, like try and give tips and tricks to the college kids. Trying to travel cheap, you know.
Travel to Europe. Yeah, you can make videos like travel to Europe on a $400 budget, and then you're just like, all right, well, how much $400?
$400 budget.
I don't think you can do the flights.
Well, after flights.
Yeah. Okay.
You could probably do that. I'm not sure how well, but
I probably could. Well, 500.
Yeah.
And then it depends on how long. Because I was there for 36 days one time.
Yeah.
And I spent $2,600.
And that's super cheap.
Not including flight, but pretty good, I would say. You know, and
what's the day-to-day cost on that then?
I mean, I had just done all the budgeting and everything, so we were able to split Airbnbs a lot.
It's basically less than $100 a day.
Find good cheap ones.
It's like 70 something.
Sorry,
it's like 70 something bucks a day.
It's less than $100 a day after flights, at least, not including the flights.
Yeah. And I budgeted like $30 a day for food. So if I had ate less than it, you know, I was able to do more later. Yeah, I don't know. We saw we did a rail pass too. That was big.
Yeah.
Cost saver.
Yeah.
So that lets us have cheap
Transportation,
trail rides,
Yep.
train rides between everywhere we go, and it was all already paid for. So
yeah.
that's pretty
super
good.
nice, yeah. No, you definitely could do something on that. I know I use your kind of budgeting technique, especially when we went to Japan and we went to Montreal. You showed me kind of your Excel spreadsheet that you use for and I think it's still. I've made some like of my own personal edits to it. Like I think I do alcohol and food separate, and do budgeting on each of those individually. But overall, that's a really good Excel spreadsheet that you made, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Ah,
It just comes in handy to keep like a little bit of a track on the trip. You know?
absolutely, yeah.
So like, oh wow, I'm spending a little more than I should in this area. I should
Yeah.
tone it down, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like I was under budget lodging because I can usually find pretty cheap spots, but over budget lodging and under budget food because I always go over on food.
So I'm like, I want on the
good food and obviously you get tipsy and you're like,
feel
I need
like
more booze and
Yeah.
As I've started to get older, I am starting to care less about budgeting. When you have a job.
Yeah, when we have that steady
and that
income.
helps having a steady income and being like, okay, I have money saved up for this. I'm going to use it, to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't necessarily care about being okay. I really need to stay within this amount of cost for this thing. And if it's like, wow, I see something I want or something that looks good to eat, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure another 5 years that'll be less, so it's even better.
Like budgeting's for peasants. Peasants budget.
I can have a. I mean, if all goes well, let's say, then it'll be even less. But it's nice to be able to do that and not have to worry.
Yeah.
But it is useful to be able to budget and do things on the cheap because not everything needs to be done expensive and you don't want to have like a place take advantage of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I'll ever get tired of going to hostels. They're cheap. There's a community there. Like I don't know, you get some great info on the local area.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I really like meeting people there too. I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Just meeting a bunch of people in like Osaka at that one hostel we stayed at. Just some cool people from Europe, and we're like, just hanging out and talking.
Yeah, especially if you were solo traveling, like you could meet some people that might be like solo traveling as well, and then maybe group up and go do something together. I don't know. The possibilities are endless.
I mean, that's what we did in Toronto, essentially.
That's what we did right. Yeah, it is what we did in Toronto. We met people in Japan too. Met those dudes. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then they took us to a couple places, and we wouldn't have had those experiences without them. So that was neat. So
yeah, that's true. All over a good time, man.
I want to travel.
All in the world of food experiencing,
Dude, honestly, one of the main reasons I travel is just to eat awesome, good food.
Delicious food.
That and like trying to like experience the different cultures. I really like kind of understanding that and those.
Through their food, though.
No, not only that.
I understand Japan because I've had the katsudon and their sushi.
Because you've had Coco's curry.
I had Coco's curry. I've experienced elite
I've had
curry.
A world perception-altering bowl of curry, yes.
We got to have the beef bowls next time we're out there. We didn't have beef bowls.
From Matsuya?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Next time.
No. But not only food, and I really just like meeting people, too. Like those spontaneous meets that you meet like out in the world, you're like, it doesn't always happen, where you live, and you can always, find just really cool people, and not so much for like the exclusive part of like networking, like they always say, oh yeah, you network people. No, it's just meet random cool people that you sometimes stumble upon. Because that's what travel's right. That's what life's about.
Yeah,
life's about the new experiences, meeting new people.
It's the river of time.
Yes,
winds in mysterious ways.
Okay, Sensei Sean.
Right? I mean, that's what they say.
That's what they say.
Well, I mean, we're
with many tributaries and offshoots.
Yes, with many paths ahead.
Yeah. Well, we're getting pretty long on the tooth.
Yeah, this
podcast.
Yeah, this episode's a longer one today, viewers.
Yeah. So I think with that, this is almost a podcast, and one day we'll get there. You guys have a great one.
Hey, see you guys. Bye.
Peace.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Peace out. Cue that outro music.
Yeah, let's say.